Well, former CIA agent turned whistleblower John Kiriakou heads to prison today. Kiriakou was the first government official to confirm the CIA uses waterboarding and other techniques as interrogation tactics. And he was charged with leaking classified information to journalists. And today, he will check into the Federal Correctional Institution in Loretto, Pennsylvania, to start his 30-month sentence. RT was at his send-off party. We bring you that now, along with his appearances at RT.
He said no to torture. He wouldn't cross that line. Do you know John Kiriakou? Well, he's a friend of mine.
In December 2007, I said on ABC News that the CIA was torturing prisoners and that torture was an official U.S. government policy that went all the way up to the president. As time has passed, and as September 11th has moved farther and farther back into history, I think I've changed my mind. And I think that waterboarding is probably something that we shouldn't be in the business of doing.
Why do you say that now?
Because we're Americans and we're better than that. The next day, the president said, and I still smile when I think about this, the president said, "I don't know this man. I don't know this man's motivation. I don't know why this man would throw me under the bus." But I did. I threw the president under the bus.
Here's somebody who speaks out with courage, speaks the truth to power.
I admitted to confirming the name of a former colleague to a journalist who was looking for former CIA officers to interview for a book. Plain and simple.
I mean, they were going to get him on something someday.
Having lunch with a New York Times reporter and talking about torture is not espionage. It's just having lunch and talking about torture. It was the government, it was the Justice Department that tried to turn that lunch into something illegal and something ugly, and it wasn't. I have believed from the very first day that this was not a case about leaking. This was a case about torture. Waterboarding and sleep deprivation and cold cell with ice water being thrown on you or putting you in a dog cage and keeping you there for days at a time. Not only did I not profit from this, this broke me. There was no benefit to me in any conceivable way of blowing the whistle. I only suffered from it. The one thing that I wanted most of all was for my children to be proud of me. And I know that morally I did the right thing. And my children are proud of me, and that's the most important thing. If they think that this conviction is going to shut me up, they don't know me at all. I'm not seeing any indication that things are going to get better for whistleblowers or for activists. I just hope that there's enough outrage out there once I go to prison that it helps someone in the future to stand up to the Justice Department and to stand up to these infringements on our civil liberties. I wear my conviction as a badge of honor.
But it's also important to say for the record that what you were convicted of is because of your conviction in the truth. So to be convicted for the truth is the true badge of honor.
The tendency, I think, is to feel alone when you're being prosecuted and the whole weight of the government is coming down on your shoulders.
We're going to make sure that he knows that we don't forget somebody who stands up for justice.
He had the strength and the courage to speak truth to power, and it's going to be that strength and courage that will allow him to persist.
I commend you for standing up and telling the truth.
We should care because of what it says about us. A civilized people doesn't torture anybody, period.
It's going to sound a little sappy, but I'm feeling a lot of love at the moment. I know in my heart that years from now, people are going to look back and they're going to know that we were on the right side of history. We were the ones who were right. The government was wrong.
Well, as John Kiriakou heads to prison, many on the outside remain willing to fight on his behalf, and will continue to tell those stories right here on RT.